flooding in the country. The number of communities that are now affected by flooding in Adamawa State have risen from 40 to 100. Now, farmers in the affected areas are counting their losses. Most of them took loans from the central bank's anchor borrower scheme for this year's farming season and are now unlikely to pay back. Correspondent Olabi Adenusi compiled this report.
Farmers in Adamawa State are now in distress, counting their losses after the 3-day downpour. The state chairman of the Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria foresees a food crisis and appeals to the federal government to come to their aid.
From the look of things and the level of water that is coming in from Cameroon axis, I doubt very much if this is as a result of the rainfall we are witnessing, because all our farms now are being submerged, and you see farmers have received loan from central bank for 6 or 7 commodities, and all the commodities, all the farmers now are suffering this loss.
Some farmers whose farmlands were affected by the floods shared their ordeal with TVC News.
Most of us that have already got our own produce ready for evacuation were caught offhand because the river overflowed its banks in October, almost the end of the month. And therefore, rice, maize, whatever that you have, that we have, is all gone with the floods.
I can tell you that over 70% is gone with the water on the flood. Likewise with beans, because beans are even decaying. Some have gone, and granite also. And these are the cash crops, leading cash crops in the northeast.
Mohammed Suleiman is the executive secretary of the state's emergency management agency.
And it has also affected over 100 communities, because in Demsa local government alone we have about 34 communities affected. And as it is right now, we are establishing camps for those that doesn't have where to put their heads on. The federal government through NEMA are coming tomorrow. The partners are all ready for response.
With many displaced and homeless, the toughest challenge facing the state government is how best to avert a looming major humanitarian crisis.